Good morning, guys, and welcome back to Vlogmas Day 16.
Let's go to the ocean. Yeah, let's go outside.
So we're off to work. Today is a Chromebook handout day, and it's raining. So, wore my rain jacket today. So I wanted to address something. I got a DM last night about my video, which is the first time I've ever gotten a direct message about my video with a critique. So yesterday morning when it's not when I exactly started my blog, but it was like when I got in my car, I threw some medicine in my mouth and took it and didn't even acknowledge that I did it because really I didn't think about it. And the message basically said that I really shouldn't do that on camera because it was basically saying that drugs were okay. So I don't take drugs just to take drugs, I promise. I have an autoimmune disease and I have polycystic ovarian syndrome. So for both of those, I do have to take medicine, actually twice a day. Well, technically 3 times a day. I take one when I first get up, and that one is to take care of my thyroid because I no longer have a thyroid because of my Graves' disease. So I take that. Then I have to wait an hour to eat, drink, or take my other medicine, and that's what you saw on the video yesterday was the medicine I take. Well, one for my blood pressure, one I take for my brain stopped working. The other one I take is metformin, and I take it to help with the PCOS. And then the last one I take is I don't know how to explain it, but basically when they took out my thyroid, I started feeling a lot less like things were urgent, and I was just like, and that's just not me. And the doctor said that was normal and gave me something for that, basically just to help counteract the changes in my body. So I take that, and I take those same medicines in the evening before I go to bed. So that's what I was taking. I wasn't just taking any kind of drugs. I would never support that. But I do appreciate that she didn't write it at the bottom of the comment and be ugly about it. She sent me a direct message, so I do appreciate that. And I told her in the message that I would clarify in the video what it was that I was taking yesterday, and that it was not just recreational. It was all like I need it. Like if I don't take the medicine first thing for my thyroid, I can make it a few days, but after a while, I'll start having the side effects again, and then eventually it'll actually kill me from not taking my medicine. So that's how important your thyroid is. You have to have your thyroid. And if you don't have it, you need to have the synthetic thyroid medicine. So there you go. So and if y'all want to know more about Graves' disease or polycystic ovarian syndrome, I don't care to talk about them. I think more people need to talk about things because it's not anything to be ashamed of. Same thing with mental health. Mental health is nothing to be ashamed of. Like I take that medicine to help me with like the feeling of blah, and I didn't tell my doctor to begin with because I just thought it was my fault. Like I just needed to buckle down and pay more attention and focus. But when I told her about it, she was like, no, like that's a common thing that's said from people who have their thyroid removed. And so, and I'm sure you're wondering, like looking for my scar. I didn't have it physically removed. So what I did instead was I went in and they gave me, we did there was a bunch of things that happened, but like after about a year of treatments and trying other things, the doctor said I had 3 choices. And the first choice was surgically remove the thyroid. And he said they usually don't do that unless it is just they have to, like a woman who's pregnant and she just has to have her thyroid out. That's who they usually do those for now. Or there's some other cases, but that's what he gave me as like the example. The second one is I could continue taking the medicine I was taking. However, the medicine can really only be taken for about 18 months because after that point, it's known to give people heart failure. And the reason you take that medicine is to put your Graves' disease in remission. And he said, you could work towards that. He said, however, you have a very stressful job, and the likelihood of your Graves' disease staying in remission is not much. Because when mine popped up, and I guess it was in my system, but I never had to deal with it. I was under a lot of stress. Like I was working on my doctorate. I just gotten a more job with more responsibilities. It was just crazy. So that's when it flared up. So he said, you'll probably have it flare up again. He said, you'd be doing this roller coaster of not being in remission, being in remission, not being in remission, which is really hard on your body. And I was like, okay, so I don't want to do that, and I really don't want to do heart failure. So the third option was I could take these pills that were iodine that had radiation in them. So I went in, and they gave me a light dose as like a test to see, did it work? How much did my body consume? Because leading up to that, I had to have a low iodine to no iodine diet, which meant I ate almost nothing, and I lost a lot of weight because there wasn't much I could eat because I wanted to make sure that the treatment worked. Well, from there, they were like, okay, yeah, you definitely are a good candidate. Your body took a huge amount of the medicine. Let's go the next step. So they did me the next step, and part of that was being isolated for 3 days because I couldn't be around my animals or my loved ones because I was radiating and I would cause damage to their bodies and they wouldn't know it. And so, so I isolated for 3 days. Was it 3 days? Maybe it was 4 days. 3 or 4 days, whatever it was. I isolated. And then after that, I just kept going back for more and more blood work, and then finally the thyroid was gone. So it was an interesting process to go through, and it's interesting because it's like nobody knows that you have it going on. But like I went from like being super cold all the time to being like hot flashes, and I mean it was just crazy. But so that's that. I gave you a really long story to answer a direct message last night, but if y'all ever have a question about something I do in the videos or I say, let me know. And if it's something like I can take healthy critiques. Please don't be ugly. I don't want that. But yeah, you can direct message me. I'm Life with Meagan Lynn on Instagram. I'm Life with Meagan Lynn on Facebook, and I'm Life with Meagan on Twitter. So you can direct message me on any of those places, and I'll talk and answer your guys' questions within reason. So, I mean, there's some things I will keep personal. But it's time to go into work. So I will see you guys in a bit. I have eyelash appointment tonight, so that's probably the next thing we'll be doing is when I see you guys.
We can hang out on the beach without freezing. Yeah, isn't that amazing?